as I can tell, I haven't seen anything built on Ethereum that has added any kind of economic value or solved any kind of real world problem.
No, it's clearly a pump and dump scheme. They have this enormous pre-mine, which is something, again, you don't find with Bitcoin, but with Ethereum, they've got tens of millions of these coins lying around, and then they go on these massive pump and dump schemes. It could be ICOs, it could be IEOs, it could be DeFi, and now you've got this NFT craze. It's just clearly a money laundering, pump and dump, Ethereum-led. It looks to me like money laundering, and I believe, last I checked, that's illegal. But there's a lot of people who are vested in it, and you've looked at the pre-mine, right? It's pretty big.
Yeah, well, the Ethereum pre-mine, there's a lot of problems with this. I mean, this is similar to the, if people don't know, basically pre-mine is something where people who are creating a cryptocurrency create units of the cryptocurrency before it's mined. The first block is mined, which is traditionally how new supply is entered into the system. So Ethereum had an enormous pre-mine. It's very similar to the shenanigans you'll see in the penny stock market with pump and dumps, where insiders paper themselves up with cheap paper and then dump it onto the public. Now, the thing with Ethereum that is problematic with this is its ownership centralization. The ownership of Ethereum has been and always is and always has been centralized into this group of people who participated in the pre-mine. And to this day, the pre-mine, I think it exists as it is to the current supply of Ethereum, is over 60% still to this day. But there's another problem with pre-mines, is that they're effectively offerings of unregistered securities, and that tends to get the attention of government agencies.
Yeah, a lot of people know that Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Satoshi Vision are exit scams written by, created and managed by narcissists and megalomaniacs. But a lot of people don't realize how bad Ethereum is and how risky it is, and what the probability is of them getting shut down for selling unregistered securities. But people do silly things, and so I think that would fall into the category of silly things. Now, with gold, the central banks of the world have all the pre-mine, you could say. They own most of the gold, regulate the paper markets on which the price is controlled. And, gold in a lot of ways is another altcoin at this point. It's got so many drawbacks, which were not obvious because until Bitcoin came around, people didn't really focus on the fact that, hey, you know what? Gold is actually a horrible store of value and a medium of exchange. As a medium of exchange, it's quite awful. As a store of value, it's not as bad as cowrie shells or storing old telephone books. Like Peter Schiff does. He's got a whole warehouse full of old telephone books that I think his whole wealth is stored in. But, compared to Bitcoin, it's really quite falls short. Now, would you ever use gold as a hedge unless you're a government or a central bank? I mean, you're big. Casey's big on gold. Is he totally going to switch over to Bitcoin entirely now? Or is Casey still stuck on gold, Nick?
Well, the thing is that what I'm interested in is money. What has the best monetary properties? I'm not particularly wedded to anything. I want something that has the best monetary properties, and I want to look at that with open eyes and analyze that. I'm not writing off gold completely, but you're right. Going down the list of all the attributes of money, and money is not that hard to understand. Money is just something that stores and exchanges value. That's all.